Hello and welcome to this Japanese course specially curated for beginners. In this video, I am going to teach you about Japanese hiragana characters. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. Japanese writing system consists of 3 different writing scripts: hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Now, let's understand why do we need 3 writing scripts. Each of these writing scripts plays a significant role in Japanese writing system. Hiragana characters are used to write native Japanese words. Hiragana characters are phonetic symbols. Each character represents 1 syllable. You can easily distinguish hiragana characters from the others, as they have soft impression and curved lines. Katakana characters are used to write foreign-derived words such as people's name, places, food, and so on. Like hiragana, katakana characters are also phonetic symbols, where each character represents 1 syllable. Katakana characters are more angular compared to hiragana. Kanji, on the other hand, are logographic characters used in the Japanese writing system. Unlike hiragana and katakana, which represent syllable, kanji characters represent words or concepts. There are about thousands of kanji characters, but a set of about 2,000 kanji, known as the Joyo kanji, are commonly used in modern Japanese. Hiragana has 46 basic characters, each representing a key sound or syllable. When we learn hiragana, we start with the 5 vowels: A, I, U, E, and O, pronounced like A, E, U, A, and O. After that, each subsequent row is sorted by the consonant sound they're paired with in the order of those 5 vowels. So for example, after A, E, U, A, O, we learn ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, and so on and so forth. Now let's go through the stroke order for each of these characters. We will start with the first column.
A.
To memorize this, imagine a boy being wrapped around by a snake and screaming "ah" in pain.
I.
To remember this, picture a man with large ears.
U.
To memorize this, imagine a strong guy saying "ooh" as he lifts the weights.
E.
You can think of the sound E as an exercise resembling a person doing lunges.
O.
Imagine you are playing golf and the ball is on the green, meaning it's close to the putting surface with a flag nearby. Now let's proceed to the second column featuring the consonant K.
Ka.
To memorize this, think of a cup with a spoon resting inside it.
Ki.
Think of the hiragana character ki as resembling a key. The upper part can be imagined as the handle of the key, while the lower part represents the key's teeth.
Ku.
Visualize the hiragana character ku as the open beak of a cuckoo bird, ready to sing.
Ke.
To memorize this, you can imagine it as a man holding a cane. The vertical line on the right can be seen as the man's body, and the curved line on the left represents the cane he is holding.
Ko.
Picture the hiragana character ko as a coin. The 2 short, curved strokes resemble the edge of a round coin. Great job! We finished the first 2 columns. Let's proceed to the next consonant, S.
Sa.
To memorize this, visualize a man surfing with his surfboard.
Shi.
To remember the hiragana shi, visualize a girl with long hair flowing down.
Su.
To memorize this, imagine someone swimming through the water.
Se.
To memorize this, visualize a boat sailing on the water.
So.
To remember the hiragana so, imagine a sewing needle creating a zigzag stitch. Well done on completing the 3 columns. Let's move on to the next consonant, T.
た、た、
To remember the hiragana character ta, you can visualize it by imagining the combination of the English characters T and A.
ち、ち、
Visualize Chi as a cheerleader doing a split with her pom-poms in hand, cheering Chi, Chi, Chi.
つ、つ、
To memorize this, think of a tsunami wave rising from the ocean.
て、て、
To memorize this, you can visualize it as a table. Imagine the horizontal stroke at the top as the tabletop and the downward curve as one of the table legs.
と、と、
To remember this hiragana character, you can imagine it as a foot with the big toe extended, like someone pointing their toe. Impressive effort on completing the 4th column. Now let's tackle the next consonant, N.
な、な、
To remember the hiragana character na, you can visualize it as a cluster of nuts.
に、に、
To memorize the hiragana character ni, you can visualize it as a pair of knees.
ぬ、ぬ、
To remember the hiragana character nu, you can picture it as a bowl of noodles with a single noodle being lifted by a chopstick.
ね、ね、
To remember the hiragana character ne, you can visualize it as a man fishing and a fish being trapped in a net.
の、の、
To remember the hiragana character no, you can visualize it as a no or prohibition sign. Great job on mastering the 5th column. Let's move on to the next consonant, H.
は、は、
To remember the hiragana character ha, you can visualize it as a hammer. The vertical stroke can be seen as the handle of the hammer, and the horizontal stroke at the top represents the hammerhead.
ひ、ひ、
To memorize this, picture the character as resembling the shape of a smiling face.
ふ、ふ、
To memorize this, think of a Mount Fuji. The curved lines can remind you of the slopes of the mountain leading up to its peak.
へ、へ、
Imagine the hiragana hei as the shape of a head seen from the side profile.
ほ、ほ、
Imagine the hiragana ho as a hotel building with a tall chimney on the left side and a square door at the bottom. Brilliant job on finishing the 6th column. Let's turn our attention to the consonant M.
ま、ま、
Imagine the hiragana ma as a mushroom with a curved cap and a stem.
み、み、
Imagine the hiragana mi as the number 21. The first stroke looks like the number 2, and the rest of the character can be seen as a 1. The phrase who is 21, me, can help you remember the sound me.
む、む、
Imagine the hiragana mu as a cow making the sound moo.
め、め、
To memorize this, imagine the hiragana me as a pretzel with a loop.
も、も、
Imagine the hiragana mo as a hook with multiple fish hanging from it. Great job on mastering the 7th column. Let's move on to the next consonant, Y.
や、や、
Imagine the hiragana ya as a yacht sailing on the water.
ゆ、ゆ、
Imagine the hiragana U as the path of a car making a U-turn.
よ、よ、
Imagine the hiragana yo as a yo-yo with its string. The curved lines of yo can represent the shape of the yo-yo and its string trailing off. You have done an amazing job. Now let's move forward to the next consonant, R.
ら、ら、
Imagine the hiragana character ra as a lion's head. The curve at the top can be seen as the lion's ear, and the loop below can represent its open mouth, ready to roar.
D, D,
Imagine the hiragana ri as a person with big ears, ready to listen carefully. The two strokes can represent the ears on either side of the person's head.
Ru, Ru,
Imagine that the character ru looks like a ruby gem embedded in a ring.
Le, Le,
Imagine the fisherman is waiting for another fish, which sounds like ray in ready to catch the next one. Just like how he holds the fishing rod, the shape of ray bends like the line going into the water.
Lo, Lo,
Imagine that the character ro represents a ruby gem that has just been robbed. The round shape of the character can be seen as the ruby itself. You have done an incredible job. Now, let's proceed to the second last consonant, W.
Wa, Wa,
Imagine that the character wa looks like a worm wrapped around a stick.
O, O,
To memorize this, imagine that the character O looks like a person riding a unicycle. Let's wrap up and head to our last consonant.
N, N,
To remember this character, think of the sound in. You have learned a lot, and now it's time to test your knowledge. Let's top it off with a fun quiz to see how much you remember. I'll display a character and give you a moment to guess it. Ready to find out? Let's see if you got it right. It's the hiragana no, the prohibition sign. Which character represents the hiragana a? The answer is, remember the man wrapped around by a snake and screaming ah in pain? The answer is ki. The answer is su. Remember a man swimming through the water? The answer is so. Remember the sewing needle creating the zigzag stick? Let me know your scores in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends and spread the fun. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to Japanese Sensei 101 for more exciting content.